Hey guys, it's Nick the Booksmith. Welcome back guys. So today I have finally finished my 2019 journal of sorts, and so I thought I would do a little flip through and show you that. I'm taking a little bit different of a path as far as journaling goes this year. And because this is how I always have, this is how I roll, man. I'm not really a journaler in the way that a lot of people are, as far as like writing down daily activities and that kind of thing. I write, and I write a lot, but it's not, you know, January 15th, I did this, I did that, you know. That's not what it's like. So let me show you. Let me set this aside just for a second. This is just a selection of some of my notebooks that I have. There's a notebook in like every room, and if I have a bag, if I'm out of the house and I have a bag, there's always a notebook in my bag. So I'm always writing things down, and it could be, it's not just lists. It's, if an idea comes to me, if I see something that resonates with me, if something happens, I guess that would be a daily activity, but if something happens and I want to remember, I write stuff down. And so, so these are some of the notebooks, that I use. Some of them are already full, like this one's full. I've had this particular one, I've had for about 15 years. And I still keep it around. And why do I keep this junky notebook around? Because there is stuff in here that I still look through and I still gain inspiration and information from, even if it's just referencing where I've come from. So there's this one. There's another full one here. These two I pretty much like went page by page, but sometimes, as you can see, I'll just write things down on something, on a piece of paper that I have, you know, handy, just scraps, you know, because we got paper, right? And then I'll shove it in one of my notebooks. So all this stuff, sketches, and I write down quotes and stories and all kinds of stuff. It's, you know, it's everything. And I don't always go page by page. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, there's an empty page, and I'll just start writing on it. I need to be a little bit better at like dating these actual, you know, please remind me if I don't do that. But I mean, I take little notes, and you know, I'm sketching, and I'm, so anyway, what I end up doing is more like a commonplace book than a diary or a journal. So because I do more of a commonplace book kind of note taking, that's kind of the shift that I'm going into. So with the 2019 for this year that we'll be working in, I will still do the journal with me art collage, you know, kind of pages. Those will still be in here too, but basically this is going to be a depository for ideas and quotes and observation, you know, bits of poetry or sketches or passages from books, or, you know, it's going to be an archive to gather information that is meant to spark creativity. It's a place to stow away worries or struggles, you know, write it down, sketch it out. So maybe sometime, you know, I'll say, okay, well, we're just going to decorate a page today, but maybe it's not going to be like an art collage. Maybe it's going to be, maybe we're going to sketch something, or maybe we're going to get some pieces of poetry that we love, and we're just going to write all that down. Maybe we're just going to decorate a page like you would for a junk journal, not necessarily like you would for an art journal, but oh, let's make some tuck spots today, or let's, you know, let's put an envelope in here, or something like that. So as we move along, it'll become a little bit more clear as far as the meaning of my commonplace book. But let's take a look at the commonplace book for 2019. And I created this book. Green is one of my favorite colors, and you all know how much I love Poe, and trees. So this whole combination of things just really spoke to me. So that is the cover, is an antique Poe cover of a book, and isn't it beautiful? And here is the spine. There are 10 signatures, and I've added this little label up here, up to the top, and I've done some gilding on the, let's see if I can get, I don't know if you can see the metallic kind of peeking. Can you see that little bit of metallic peeking through? Because this is all gold. And then on the back of the book, I did some more gold, but it's a tree, but it's all weathered and aged and kind of halfway worn away to kind of mimic that there's a tree on the front. So it kind of, here we go. How's that? Is that better? So this is not a recycled book. I created this book cover, and inside there is about, let's see, there's 10 signatures, and there is between like 6, 7, 8 pages per signature. So that's what, about the math. I'm going to say there's about 240 pages at least, for if you count front and back. So anyway, let's go through it and let's take a look at the inside of the 2019. So inside, I have put this beautiful hand marble paper, and this is one that I did on a green paper stock, and it has gold and silver and copper metallic paint. This is a piece of an old file folder, and I've put one of my number codes here and one of my quotes, one of my novel quotes. The sequence of events was this, and you can even probably still see the imprint that I left. It was on that file folder of where it was made. It's an old guy. And then I stitched around that, so that got put in. This is a page of onion skin, antique onion skin, and it covers my title page, which is my Ex Libris with a tree, of course, right? So my Nick the Booksmith, and then it has this ivy vine border that goes all the way around it. And inside, even though I haven't decorated yet, I did a few things just to kind of get started, because you can't, it's hard to sew on the pages after they're in unless you sew an embellishment and put it in. So if I wanted to sew directly on a page, I went ahead and did that. But it's going to be filled with the same kind of papers that I put in my books. So, but with the exception that I used more real vintage pieces, some special pieces that I'd been saving for only God knows why, because I don't know. It's like, okay, it's time to use some of this up, right? And so I encourage all of you, especially if you're going to be making a book for yourself, please promise me that you will include some of the things that you've been holding back for a special purpose, because guess what? You're special. So promise me that you will bind some of those pages in, you'll sew some of those pieces in, whatever it is, you will incorporate it into something that is for you because you deserve it. You deserve it. And you know what? There's going to be stuff that's going to come along and come along and come along. And pretty soon you have this huge pile of stuff that's special, right? So if everything is special, then nothing is special anymore, right? So use some of those pieces and enjoy them. Enjoy them. So I did a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, just a real simple pamphlet stitch. This is a little carbon copy, it's like a receipt, something that you would, you know, find an invoice. But I stitched it to the top, but it still kind of folds out. I made some, like this is the cover of a book that a sweet friend sent me, and she sent me the scan of the book that she had. So I printed it out and I made a little mini book on the inside. And then on the inside of the cover, I took an old contact card and I turned it in kind of to a flip with just some washi tape and put that on there. And this is from Brenda. She sent me this wicked cool, hold on, I think I can grab it. I've already taken the rings off, but she sent me this awesome old typing. Look at this thing. Oh, it's just awesome. So I took off the metal, you know, ring. And so, oh, these pages, I mean, they're already, it's like they're tea stained, right? Beautiful. It was a typing textbook. So because I love the color, I love the punch from where it was bound with the rings, that goes in there. This is an old piece of ledger. I just put some sewing on it. This is from Jibbid. She sent me a few sheets of this. It was an accounting for like a chicken farm with, you know, feed and how many eggs, and they're real long, so I folded it in half and stitched it to make little tuck spots. There it is. Poultry Farm Monthly. There's the back half of that book. Do you remember when we scanned that old sheet music book? This was the page that I scanned, so the back of it's just white. This is just a piece of designer cardstock, but I stitched to it this old warehouse tag, and I left it as kind of like a little belly band kind of slot, just for some interest. I love this little, you know, the little reinforcer hole thingy there. Here is another piece of vintage paper from a hatchery from like almost 100 years ago, and also a very old cookbook. And I just stitched around some of the recipes. There's a little fold out. I don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll do something. This is a page also from a book of sheet music, and I stitched on this really large index card to make a pocket. Here is one of my marbled papers. It's not a print, it's one of the originals. It's Macbeth, and so it's a page from a book that I hand marbled. I love this. So this is a reproduction, but it's Elvis Presley's driver's license. Isn't that awesome? So I just attached it with some washi tape just to make a little flip, just because I love the number, you know how I am with numbers, and I'm very typographical. Here is just an end page that I just stitched some extra pieces to. There's another little tuck spot. There's another back of that end page. This is some vintage graph paper, and I just stitched some of the extra, you know, end papers from it. Some more there. And this is just some wrapping paper. So just a little bit of everything, kind of just sprinkled through here. It's one of the pages I made for the bee book. This is one of my, part of one of my digi-kits. This is the dictionary page from one of my digi-kits that I printed on that deli paper. There's some marble paper, some more old accounting. Here's a piece of sheet music I turned into a tuck spot. So nothing too exciting yet. We'll make it exciting, right? We'll have some fun, and we'll put some interesting things in this book. But I tried to keep it pretty plain. This is just a little fold out. It's an old ledger piece that I stitched. The marble paper, another piece of that left over, stitched that. This is some paper I got at Jerry's Artorama, and it has little leaf bits in it, kind of like a mulberry paper. This is just a little flip out, just a little journal card. Pockets, pocket. Here's another little fold out. I don't know what we're going to do with it. We'll figure out something. This is, Cheryl sent this to me a long time ago. I don't know if you're going to remember that, Cheryl. It's a page from a ledger, and it's January 1st, 1908. How great is that? 101 years ago. So cool. And it's the actual page. I'm like, you know what? We deserve it. Just put the stuff in your book. Just do it. You're going to love yourself for it. And this, my sewing machine does some really cool stitches. And oh, I just thought this is one of my favorite. Isn't that neat? It almost looks like cross stitch. And this is the back with another little pocket with a piece of old dictionary page attached to that. So as you can see, it's fairly plain, but it is ready. It is ready for us to put some cool things in. So I hope you like this book. I hope you like it as much as I do. Something about this book just really makes me happy. So I hope you like it as much as I do. And I had made a little folio packet, because I was gonna put it in the back, but I put too many pages in the book, and it just wasn't gonna see how it would do that. So I didn't end up putting my little folio pouch in there. So you might remember this is kind of a cross between my folios. Remember the folios that we made last year? We made a big one, and then we made a couple of small ones. And then when I did the Booksmith traveling journal kit, this was on the front of one of them, if you remember. So something similar to this was on the front. So it's kind of a cross between my folios that I do, and then that traveling journal kit, the little specimen packet that goes on the front. And I had made it to be kind of like a little receptacle for some fun little things that we were gonna find, but it wouldn't fit. But I'll probably just show you guys how I made it at some point. Hope maybe this week I'll get some more of this paper out. It was just an old file folder, and I'll just get it all out, and I'll tell you the measurements. And so if you want to make one, if you leave room in your book, or perhaps you would want to put it on the front like I did when I made that traveling journal kit. Remember, I put on the front, had the little scissors and that kind of thing. I will put that link down below. There's a lot of new people that haven't been around, and the traveling journal kit came out, June, I think, of last year. So I will put the links to all that stuff down below so that you can see if you're newer and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Nick. You gone lost me. So I'll put that down there. But just be ready. I'll show you guys how to make this. It's super simple. I even made like a little card slot thing. I'll show you how to make that. That was pretty easy. And then I just made some little tuck spots, and so it was a fun little project, and maybe you'll want to make one too. So So that will be soon. And then I've got a fun thing coming up. I'm prepping for that right now. The fun thing. That I hope it works out, because I'm real excited. I think it has nothing to do, well, it kind of has to do with books. The way I'm going to use it has to do with books, but we'll see. We'll see. Super fun little project. And so in my head, it looks great. The squirrels are going, yeah. But we'll see if, like, in reality, if it, like, actually, you know, comes to a successful fruition. Oh, okay, guys. I hope everybody had an excellent weekend. And I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is adapting to the new year, and yeah, all that fun stuff that we have to do. And I hope you like the new book. We're gonna have so much fun in this book. We're gonna do the first journal with me very soon, and because I haven't even written in it at all. No words have been written, so it is virgin territory. But I'm saving that for you guys. I love this book with all my heart. I love the way it feels. I love how heavy it is. I love the stitches on the spine. That I'm just gonna be honest with you, they are just for show, because I still do my hollow back binding, but I wanted the stitches on the spine just because I think they're cool looking. So, and I just wanted an extra textural element. So, and I had the embroidery floss that matched the front of the book. Okay, guys, I will be back really, really soon, because I have so much on my list that I want to show you, some fun stuff, and we're gonna craft, and we're just gonna journal, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun, I promise. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.